I had Kidnapping 1 and Kidnapping 2 and aggravated robbery, second-degree burglary, and then they threw a thing called crime of violence in, that if you get convicted, they double your sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So it's ×2. So I had to think hard on this. I'm going to see the guy I kidnapped Saturday night in Tucson. The guy I kidnapped in 1988, 87, he's coming to the show Saturday night in Tucson. This Saturday.
Hysterical.
He's been waiting for the last month. He's been calling me 3 times a week, and I won't answer his call to torture him because he didn't show up to Tempe last year. So I haven't been answering the phone. He finally hit me up on Facebook. He's like, motherfucker, you coming to Tucson? I'm coming. So the dude I kidnapped in 1987 will be in the show in Tucson this weekend.
So you in Tucson this weekend?
Yeah. How crazy is that, though?
That's crazy.
So for me, I knew he was a loose cannon, that he was going to disappear. So that's why I kept postponing it. I kept paying my attorney to push it back because the victim would disappear eventually. He would either move to Mexico and then there'd be no fucking court. No, he showed up. They didn't let him testify, though, because he had robbed the hospital. He jumped out. This motherfucker got a DUI, cut his head open. They took him to the hospital. While he was in the hospital, he broke into the pharmacy, took the liquid cocaine and a bunch of pills, and jumped out the motherfucking window and then didn't show up for court and had a warrant out for his arrest. When I kidnapped him, he had a warrant out for his arrest. So do you understand if they would have taken this to trial?
Witness, yeah.
If I would have taken it to trial, it would have been close. Close. Too close to risk 40 fucking years over.
Yeah, too close.
I just almost got jury duty and seeing what the kind of people they picked. Like, there's people who just get bad luck. Like, they've gotten jury duty 4 times. And like they're in charge of your life. That's it almost makes more sense to just have the judge do it, because at least they're supposedly smart. The people who I was in the room with for jury duty, it terrified me. Like to think that they were in charge of someone's life.
Yeah, it's a big thing. The people being there, wanting to go, not listening to all the evidence. Just imagine we have a decline in the educational population. So now if you getting picked, you're getting judged by these new people becoming your jury. The same people who can't pay attention without their phone. They got a small window of attention. These
motherfuckers think Kim Kardashian's a good singer.
Yeah.
Like, Kardashian's a great singer.
And she's a public figure for the world. So these are the people who I'm like, yes, I would like to hear all the facts. This thing we did, it's the damn. We in a tight spot.
I remember the first, because Tidwell got arrested first. He got caught with Vela in the trunk of the car, so he got the public attorney. So when I walked in there, I knew exactly that's beautiful for me, because now I can't get a public attorney. I got to get a court-appointed real motherfucking attorney. And the state pays him, because if a public attorney handles me, it's conflict of interest. So when you get involved with 2 or 3 people, you shut your mouth until you find out one guy got a public attorney. Let them get the public attorney. You're going to go with a real motherfucking attorney.
A real one.
And I went with a black dude. His name was Sonny Flowers. That was his real name. But he was black only in skin color. His soul was whiter than white. And he was in there selling my fucking soul. And I remember he called me a week after I bailed. He's like, good news. We've gotten you a great deal. It's 9 years. And he goes, and you're pleading to kidnapping too. And I'm like, Mr. Flowers, are you fucking crazy? And he goes, I think it's a great deal for you. 9 years is perfect for what you did. I go, there's no violence. They got no proof of it. But I was just buying time. I was just trying to get all my money in order to get a real attorney. Yep. So I was just trying to get my shit in order to get a real attorney. Then I went in there and started like a fake argument with him, because he kept telling me, you don't understand. My grandmother was the first black woman to ever graduate CU Boulder. And I'm like, you don't understand. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to get fucking lynch mobbed in this motherfucker. You're telling me about your fucking grandmother? I don't want to hear about your fucking grandmother one more goddamn time. And he's like, nobody talks about my grandmother. You know,
You'll never be a Boy Scout.
you'll never be a Boy Scout and all this shit. And then he threw me out. He wrote a letter to the judge, and then I had to go see the judge. I never forget this. I must have snorted 9 8 balls on a Sunday night, and I had to see the judge at 10 in the morning. I went in there sweating bullets. Ali, I know you've gone through this. I go in there. I forget what the judge's name was. He was bald. He was a little bit of a hard-on. And I went in there and had to explain my situation. He goes, what happened? I go, we didn't come to an agreement. He goes, Mr. Diaz, I want you to get sentenced. And I go, listen, I wasn't getting along with him. He goes, all right, you have 14 days to get new counsel and come in here. I go, okay, thank you, Your Honor. And he goes, by the way, before you go, please go in my chambers and check with my clerk for a date. I've been to court 1,000 times. That was fucking weird, Ali. Before you leave, go in my chambers. This is in front of everybody. He goes, go outside and go in the first office and check with my clerk for a date for 2 weeks. I was like, something don't sound right. I was by myself. I had no attorney with me. So I walk out. He's like, go ahead, that way. And I walk out and I go in there. And when I open up, there's a lady there. And she goes, Jose? And I go, yeah. She goes, hold on 1 second. And she opened up a door and 2 feds came out. They're like, Mr. Diaz, we're fucking such and such. We're from fucking the DEA, and this is county from Aspen. And they started showing me pictures of me on a balcony, showing me pictures of me in a car, showing me pictures of me giving a guy like a package. And they were watching me up in Aspen. And they're like, this is how you could take care of this whole deal. They said to me, if you give us your dealer in Aspen, we'll make this situation go away, and we promise you'll do it in a minimal time. And I'm like, so wait a second, what you're trying to tell me is I'm going to sell my soul, and I still got to do time? So I thought about it first. And if you know anything about me, you know I had to fuck with them a little bit.
Gotcha.
I took the dude's card and I said, I'll get back to you. And then I would call him like every 4 days. Listen, I seen a license plate the other night, like 626. Like, if somebody was busting my balls, like if there was a drug dealer that I owed money to, I would call this motherfucker and say, look, I just seen a suspicious thing go in my neighborhood. With this count, I wouldn't say nothing to nothing.
You're about to go to jail twice, and you're still torturing the police.
Oh, please, you know me, dog. I don't give a fuck. I could go on for years torturing a cop. I had a cop that was so mad at me, Ali Siddiq. This motherfucker tried to crack this coconut that he showed up on my wife's side for the divorce hearing. That's how much. You ever see I Dream of Jeannie? I Dream of Jeannie is not about a white dude with a genie. It's about a white dude and another white dude who torture Major Bellows. They just torture him. He'd walk into an office and they're having an orgy. Then he goes to report and he comes back and they're really a bakery. I had this cop. That dude just retired. I would still send him flowers. I would send him Valentine's cards. I would send him Christmas cards. I sent that motherfucker Christmas cards 5 years after I got out of prison because I knew he hated me so much.
Man.
So why are you antagonizing him?
Because fuck him. Because I hate him. I want him to fucking go to his grave thinking about how much he fucking hated me and how he couldn't do dick to me. Because he kept telling me the thing, you're going to do 50 fucking years. I'm going to make sure of it. And I'm like, dog.
God damn it. They call that cop on you. He's been farting on me. What can you?
I know.
What can you charge of chemical warfare?
Dog, I tortured that motherfucker, Ali. Remember, Ali, that dude started on me for a credit card fraud. He started on me on 85. When he was a patrolman, he thought he was fucking Snoop. I burglarized the mall with a credit card. And then my stupid Cuban ass. See, I went to the mall first looking for a job. And I didn't
Lee,
get
you
it.
okay, Lee?
No, I'm just thinking about this story. It's amazing that he's free. Like that.
Ali,
No wonder he had such a fun time. He's like, I'm free.
Ali, I terrorized this mall first looking for a job. And when I didn't get the job, nobody would give me a job. I took a credit card, like 10 credit cards, and just destroyed that mall. Bro, I went into that mall one day, walked into the Radio Shack. Do you know I picked up a CD player, one of those DVD players, wrapped the wire around it. You know how you unplugged it? It was it was the sample. I took the fucking thing and walked out of there with the sample. I destroyed this mall. They were not ready for Joe Diaz, but I tormented them with the credit card. I bought something in every fucking store in that mall. This mall was 3 floors. I spent money in every store in that mall. I kept throwing the cards away and taking them and going back. I tormented this mall. I had merchandise all over that fucking apartment. The one day I'm working, I get a call from Foot Locker. They want to hire me.
In that mall?
In that mall. So I take the job at Foot Locker with my stupid Cuban ass. I'm 21 years old. And I'm at Foot Locker robbing up a storm, right? Robbing like a motherfucker. And one day this Chinese family comes in, one of those yin-yang envelopes, the Chinese New Year envelopes, and they're trying on shoes, and I'm looking at that envelope and shit, and all these Chinese people are trying on shoes. I clipped the envelope and put it in my pants. It had to be like fucking, I don't know, $2,000, $3,000. I went right in the back of the place, and I opened up a bag of size 13 sneakers, and I put the envelope inside the sneaker, and I went back out there. I just had a weird feeling. And when they went to pay for the sneakers, they're like, what happened to the envelope? Our envelope is lost. What happened? I'm starting to feel bad. The kids are crying and shit. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to hell for this. And all of a sudden they leave. They came back an hour later with the cops. And they were like, we know for a fact when we came in here, we had that fucking envelope. So either somebody stole it or somebody who works here stole it. And there was like 3 of us. And I'm like, dog, none of us took it. Either you dropped it, you know. But that cop kept looking at me weird. And 2 days later, that motherfucker comes back and he goes, can I talk to you for a second? He goes, I just got a report that there's a guy that matches your description that bought a bunch of jewelry and whatever. So we're waiting for the cameras to come back. Is this you? You might as well turn yourself in now. This motherfucker came every 7 days. He came in for 5 days with that same story. Every day he come in. How you doing, Mr. Diaz? Have you decided to turn yourself in yet? You know, we got the sizes of the pants and stuff, right? You know, we're going to hang the sign. You know, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They kept coming to Foot Locker, Then Sunday night, the motherfucker knocked on my door. And he's like, you know, we're going to come back here and arrest you tomorrow. We can make this a lot easier. I'm like, dog, if you could arrest me, you wouldn't be here talking this shit. Now get the fuck off my stoop. And that night I left for San Francisco. And I didn't come back for like 2 years. That was in August of 85. Ali, do you know when I kidnapped that motherfucker in November of 87? You know who I turned myself into? That dude and another cop. And he never remembered Ali. He kept looking at me like he knew me from somewhere. And every time I go to court, he'd be looking at me and shit. I'm like, when is this fool going to remember that I was the credit card bandit?
The Boulder credit card.
The Boulder credit card bandit.
The Boulder credit card bandit.
When is he going to fucking realize that I'm that dude?
He going to be sitting up one day and just going to pop into his head like something that you can't remember. Fuck. Joey Diaz.
No, I was at the Comedy Works 2 years ago, and the feature that opened for me was a Boulder cop. And I said to him, I asked him, I said, is that cop still there? And he goes, yeah. I'll ask him about you.
Oh.
I go, send him my love. Because I always send him Christmas cards at the police station. So I sent him fucking shit for years. I think I haven't sent him anything in like 12 years, 13 years. I think I sent him something with the longest yard. Go fuck yourself. What have you done with your life, you fucking flat-foot motherfucker? Here I am busting out with Adam Sandler. How you like me now? I sent him the trading card. They had these trading cards, and I sent it to him.
Do you have a problem with police? I don't actually have a problem.
No, not at all.
I don't actually
Never in my life.
Just specific.
Not at all. I like when a cop is a cop. Yeah. I like when a cop talks to me from the heart, and I talk back to him from the heart. I hated cops like him because they really thought they were making a difference. From 10 Planet Kush, it drains the lactic motherfucking acid. People won't cop to it. The health specialists say, no, that doesn't happen, Joey. Yes, it fucking does. I got friends at Harvard, bitch. I'm like Garth Brooks. I got friends in high places, motherfuckers.